toxic. Like a kilo dropped inside the pot, my nigga spinning. Ay, I just heard a hater just got shot, now I'm grinning. Ay, I just took more dope that's just gon' keep me out my feelings. If I wasn't rapping, I'd be trapping, making millions. Ain't worried about nothing, I got more money than my ex. I don't have to call, bitch pulling up off my text. First day I bought her an AP cause she wet. I done spent so much money on bitches I forget. Want a one spill, you can't find this in a store. Heard that was your wifey, I turned her to my home. Let me be your sponsor, you a baddie, you can get endorsed. New Chanel, you know damn well to make girls get moist. Whipped up in a Maybach and I came back in a rush. I'ma pop my shit, drop a brick in a pack. Shorty can't complain, bitch, the whole world toxic. She belong to the street, bitch, gon' fuck on everybody.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 98 of the Splash Cast, the Around the League edition, Monday Night Raw. I'm your co-host, Reggie.
And I'm your co-host, Norwood. And you are right, we are still your HBCU homeboys. Always remember, Black Culture Awareness Month is coming up in October. Like, follow, and subscribe to Realest Podcast in the world. Let's get into it, my friend. Wait, hold on. One more thing. I got to say it before I forget. Larry June reminds me of Cushion OJ Wiz Khalifa just a little bit.
Possibly. I think he reminds me of somebody else, but I can see the comparison. But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Y'all know what we do Monday Night Raw, the Around the League edition. We do HBCU news around the culture. We do basketball news around the league, football news around the league, and we also started out that episode, our pregame, with our splashes of the week. If you have a chance, if you're listening to this on Thursday, go back and listen to the pregame. A lot of good stuff that you hear, funny stuff, reminiscent as well. But with that being said, man, let's jump right into it, dog. Let's get to it. Nope.
Yes. Also, Chick-fil-A lemonade. It's what y'all doing in there, bro? Oh my God. My God. No ice, please.
And they'll never go wrong. That mug made with lemon, sugar, and angel tears.
No ice. No, I got ice at the house. I'm going home.
They brought back the strawberry lemonade too. I was like,
woo! Why would you tell me that?
Right. And they brought back the what was the other one that went crazy? The watermelon mint joint. They brought that back. They
crack in the 80s.
They brought back the watermelon mint for the summer. I was like, oh. Select stores.
I don't need a mint, and I'm not the biggest watermelon flavor person specifically, but that good Christian Chick-fil-A strawberry lemonade. What?
You know they just announced they revamping the menu.
Move that rock. I gotta get that lemonade.
They adding to the breakfast. We from Georgia, y'all. So we in a Chick-fil-A little thing. They added to the menu. They added to the breakfast menu.
Lie.
They just said it on the news. It was on the news. That's how big Chick-fil-A is in Georgia, y'all. They just said it on the news.
Well, I live in Texas, so I'm forced to have Whataburger. So please let me know what I'm missing. I hate Whataburger so much. It's trash.
It's not bad. It's just not good.
Whataburger is trash. All the Whataburgers, hamburgers taste like Happy Meal hamburger. You be like, bro, this is
what's it, gourmet Happy Meal? Added lettuce and cheese to a Chicken Kids cheeseburger.
That's all. It's a grown up. Everything on the Whataburger menu is a Happy Meal. That's what it is. It's a grown up Happy Meal.
Oh man. But let's get into this HBCU news around the culture, man. It's a few things talking about going on today in the culture. Where should we begin? Let's begin with Texas Southern. Since you in the H. Texas Southern makes history at the National Cheer Association Championships by being the first HBCU to win a college national championship. I will say I know cheering is big amongst wow, they're at the beach. That's tough. It's big amongst young women that we grew up with, that we knew, their daughters. Like, it's like a whole culture. So to be the first HBCU to win one is a big deal, man. Shout out to them.
Yes. This is a major deal because one of the running jokes I will say about HBCU culture is our cheerleaders. It's different. A lot of schools, I feel like there's a lot less of the performance, a lot less tumbling. And then for TSU to go out and to win the National Cheer Association Championship, you know, that kind of disproves at least some of those rumors and shows, hey, man, when it comes to actually, you know, the full performance, we can kick your ass there too. And then they did.
So shout out to, hey man, God be working in mysterious ways, let me tell you. My wife's college roommate, her best friend, college roommate, was a cheerleader at Virginia State. She sent me an article recently that said the cheer style that you know of, that we see in HBCUs, actually started at Virginia State with the Virginia State Woo Woos, which is the name of their cheerleaders. Of course, it's rooted in discrimination and racism. Of course, they said we couldn't tumble, we weren't allowed to tumble, we weren't allowed to practice, so we came up with our own style, and then that came out. Why am I telling y'all all of this?
Shout out to Ebony Fire.
Shout out to Ebony Fire. Why am I telling y'all this? Because, as Norwood said, us actually winning with our own, us actually being in these cheer competitions really doesn't happen because we don't have the same style. For us to go to a cheer competition and win doing it the traditional, when I say traditional, y'all know what I mean, the traditional way, and beating them at their own game is very, very impressive. Very impressive. So that's what stood out to me about all this.
Absolutely.
Because I got a random factoid from my wife's college roommate. So shout out to Crystal. Shout out to Crystal, man. Cover this for you.
Also, we're going to pat our own selves on the back. Where else? What sports show can you go to? They talk about HBCU cheerleading. Or
multiple
next
times.
Up, HBCU bowling. Bowling.
And don't forget this, and we not a flash in the pan. This is not the first time we talked about HBCU cheerleading at all. We covered it all.
We are one of the shows that actually talks and supports women's sports. And shout out to the North Carolina A&T 3-peat champion bowling squad. Congratulations.
Yeah, shout out to Middle, man. She was on the Hampton bowling squad. Social media makes everybody friends now. So I actually got semi-cool with her through y'all, really. Through student leaders and all of y'all. She was on the bowling team at Hampton. I didn't realize how big of a deal that was. They take this for real, for real. This is the equivalent of like golf, lacrosse. Like, this is a big deal, and they've won it 3 years in a row. Shout out
and
to
I'm
North
sure
Carolina
they're looking
A&T.
at 4.
Yeah, they trying to get 4.
I'm coming down. Job's not done.
And
Job's not done yet.
I'm a cape for Hampton, and it's gonna sound like a shot for A&T. A shot at A&T. It is what it is. This all happened after Hampton left.
No John Morant.
Ooh, well, it was there. I didn't think you would go take the shot. Boo! That was not what I meant. Oh,
yeah,
man.
people would never have on this show. Hey.
Hey, man, I'm from South Carolina. I mean, my dad from South Carolina, man.
Me too. Yeah.
Josh still ain't coming. But shout out to A&T, man. Shout out to A&T.
We'll take a shot for that, though.
Oh, man. We just going to keep saying shot. Now, the name of the... Golly. I just said shout out, not shout out. Shout out to A&T. Come on, man. Shout out to A&T's bowling team for winning, man. Diverse
shot
team.
or shout.
Hey, so Bethune-Cookman is set to break ground on a new practice facility, and Charles Barkley basically made the final or biggest donation to get them over the finish line for it to be actually done. Why is that a big deal? we'll get to Charles in a minute. Y'all know everything that happened in the media for Ronnie messing with him. Ronnie Acuna. You saw everything that happened in the media with Ed Reed and Bethune-Cookman on the heels of everything that happened in the fallout of Dion going to, or he who shall not be named, my bad. Well, I say Dion. Dion going to
Baltimore.
Going to Colorado, and then the haste in which he left, and the rhetoric and information that he spewed about it afterwards. And I think one of the main points you made is we hadn't seen Bethune-Cookman in the news in a long time for anything, good,
Right.
bad, or indifferent. They were in a struggle with their football program. They had a lot of struggle with the hurricanes down there. They were trying to recover. We hadn't really heard anything about them. So to hear about Ed Reed come out there, and they talked about it until they got a new coach, they talked about Ed Reed. And that's the only thing you heard about Bethune-Cookman. So for now this to be in the headline of Charles Barkley getting there, addressing the practice facility, or the lack thereof, and giving the $1 million donation is just fantastic. And I know your point. I'm going to let you make it. Go ahead. I think I know your point.
Nah, I'm just, number one, I'm happy that he is spreading the money around. I know that, even in HBCU culture, a lot of times there are certain schools who get the money every time. Then there are schools that don't always get the money, Bethune-Cookman being one of them. So I'm happy for him to acknowledge them. Their athletic director is former NBA star Reggie Theus. So for all of that is excellent. I also, people talk so badly about Chuck for whatever reason. He's never said he was perfect, but it's very frustrating. And at the same time, that's one of the reasons I love this show, is because we get to highlight people who nobody ever really has anything good to say. And Chuck has been doing this for, I think, 8 years, and it's been 8 HBCUs. It's also been Auburn and another couple schools, but even at the schools, at the PWIs, I think the money is targeted at African-American students. And I don't think it just gets enough credit. Sneaky, you're right. I would love him to send $1 million to Hampton, but also I would rather him send it to like these really, really small schools, your Jarvis Christian College, the really small HBCUs that we need to keep.
Well, you gonna hear that on any school, on any podcast. Okay,
yeah.
So the point that I thought you were gonna make was Ed Reed cited the lack of having a practice field on one of the tapes that he was saying, right? When he did his Instagram videos and went live, and he was like, they ain't got no practice field, all of that stuff. Well, what this shows is that this is fully funded, right? Ed Reed was just released 2 months ago. What's this? April? 3 months ago. This is already fully funded, which means they had already been raising money for a practice facility before Ed Reed. See, that's what our issue is with all of that happened with Dion and Ed Reed. That's everything. That's our issue. You only told half the story. You didn't say that they were already raising money and they were trying to raise money. You just said, no, they got crooked administration. They ain't got nothing. You weren't even there long enough to have the conversations. That's the point that I was saying. You wouldn't have done that with Miami. That's my point. Why act like that with us? Now you even look like more of an ass.
As it goes for HBCUs, there's a culture inside of the culture. And if you don't necessarily come from the HBCU culture, I want to tell you, there's one or two things you should do. You should put a person who lives in that culture or regularly stays there, or take notes from Eddie George. Those are the only two options you should have when it comes to this, because I mostly think that Aaron Reed's heart was in the right place. I just think that he's an emotional person,
was in the wrong,
and he got ahead of himself. Now, I do think that
I agree with all that, but I also think there's a little ego in there too. But go ahead.
Yeah, yes. There's a ton of ego, because he positioned it in a way like he was coming as a mission of mercy, or the HBCUs are beneath him. That's never going to make people like him. Trust me, as a person who's just
People
take my
like,
word for it.
People don't like. I know.
I'm not for everybody. I understand that. So, but you also, there's a way to talk to people, and there's a way to communicate. So for me, yes. And I think that in hindsight, that Ed Reed scenario is probably best case for everybody. I think that makes, hopefully it takes HBCUs at least to pause and consider for a second before you make a sweeping hire. For Ed Reed, I think that this was a test run. I need to learn how to manage my emotions a little bit better. I've been there. I don't try to be an emotional person. I think I'm a lot better at it now. But you have to work at not being, a slave to your emotion. And I think from this, I think that he will learn. I don't have to say everything I think of me, but you got to say some things you think and it not go well first before you know to do that. Or at least I did.
Yeah, I agree. But I want to get back to Charles because I didn't mean to go that far, but it's part of the conversation. We gonna have when it comes to HBCU, we gonna have a conversation. So
I got time.
Charles Barkley, this marks the 8th time that he's given $1 million or more to an HBCU since 2016. Bethune-Cookman, Jackson State, Alabama A&M, Clark Atlanta, Miles, Morehouse, Tuskegee, and Spelman. I love that he gave the Bethune-Cookman, Jackson State, and Spelman and Clark. Y'all might need to build a statue of Charles in Alabama. That's almost every college, black college in Alabama. Yeah. He's got Alabama State, Stillman, and if I forget one, forgive me, but I think that's the other two. Then you got the smaller ones, of course. But hey, man, he's taking care of home. He's from Leeds. Was it Leedsville? Leeds, Alabama. Leeds, Alabama. Yeah. So,
and we want to shout out to TNT for giving him a healthy contract so he can send that money to HBCUs. We support the people who support us.
We support, man. So shout out to Charles. Keep doing your thing. We truly appreciate you being an ally of the culture and doing it the right way. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of the HBCU segment, the news around the culture. TSU, shout out to Texas Southern, cheerleading national champs, North Carolina A&T, MEAC, three-peat, and then Chuck putting his money where his mouth is, man. Walking the walk while not even really talking the talk, just walking the walk. So
and not giving nearly enough credit for it.
Nope. So shout out to Charles Barkley. Shout out to everyone, man. We'll be right back. We're gonna take a quick break. We about to get into it, y'all. It is spicy in the NBA. We got
Hey, we might trade, y'all. I'm ready to have a party in this thing.
It's spicy, boy.
I'm feeling good right now. No job.
Hey, man. No beef in women's college basketball, but the NBA is on fire right now. We got punches thrown, people trades, tanking, investigations, buying everything, man. We got a lot of stuff.
This sounds like the NFL to me.
So we'll be back, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to the Splashcast 36 pack. I'm gonna play I got it on shuffle, so it's a random song. So y'all listen to it, and we'll be right back.
This could be dangerous.
It could be. And we are back, ladies and gentlemen, with our basketball segment of episode 98 of the Splashcast, the Around the League edition. We talked about HBCU news around the culture just now, and we had a pregame, hell of a pregame. We got some stuff to talk about in the NBA.
It's always a hell of a pregame with Norwood.
Always a hell of a pregame, Sade. Always a hell of a pregame. So, oh my God, the Braves are up 2-0. Okay, I'm not gonna watch. Not gonna watch. He just hit a double.
No, you're not gonna watch. Last time I watched the game, It went off the rails so fast. I might not be able to watch another game for the rest of the season. It was so bad so fast. Also, we needed the red slump buster. Let's go.
Hey. Y'all, we don't play with the juju. Also, merch coming soon. But we don't play with the juju. So, this how much we don't play with the juju. The Braves had a losing record in 2021 when I watched. I did not watch the whole World Series. I watched bits and pieces. I watched highlights on my phone as it was. You remember that? I was watching it on Twitter. I never watched the World Series.
Disrespect the juju. I'd much rather my team win than me be able to watch the game in real time. I don't care. I want to win.
I get YouTube highlights come on 30 minutes after the game is over.
Hey, we need to win before. I will never put myself before the one franchise that has continuously done what we've asked of them and played well and played hard and played tough. Salute to those guys. Your former Atlanta Braves World Series champions. You see it. Let's never forget it.
Always over my left shoulder. Y'all see it.
Yeah.
With that being said,
two-time world champs.
With that being said, man, let's get to the WNBA. Although, shout out to the Dream WNBA draft tonight. The draft is tonight. But let's get back to the women's college basketball, man. Magic Johnson decided he was a fan of basically we call this game recognized game. Alexis Morris finished the national championship. She scored 19 points in the second half. We talked about that before. And the fact that Irvin Magic Johnson, shouted her out on Twitter, and she saw it and retweeted it and was happy, got a signed jersey from him. That was a big deal. So shout out to Alexis Morris, man.
And I'm happy that she got the time and some of the honor and respect she deserved. She played a hell of a game, but because of people who are uninformed about her sport wanting to take over and monopolize with their own opinions, she kind of got put in the shadows behind the whole Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese beef, where there was no beef, as we will get to here in a second, but she just didn't get, I don't feel like she got the recognition that she deserved because of everybody else's opinion about everything.
I'll take you one step further. I feel like LSU didn't get the recognition they deserve. Nobody, and when I say LSU, I mean they're not talking about the national championship at all. They're not talking about how great Angel Reese is. They're not talking about how great Alexis Morris is. They're not talking about any of them. They're only talking about the beef, per se, between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese.
Both teams have been reduced to two people. And that's unfortunate because both teams have had excellent seasons. Those girls went out there, practiced hard, played hard, accomplished so much. And for it to be reduced to a beef between two people who do not have a beef, that's unfortunate. And shout out to men ruining women's sports.
Yeah. Specifically the subsection of human called what?
See, there we go. I once again, there's a difference between me and Reggie. I don't have to explain to you what you should already know.
Right.
If you don't know it,
I'm going to explain it. Listen, I have no problem laying stuff out to you like a nursery rhyme. We said and we showed through the evidence of the scientific method, we had the evidence that it was the white men, the white male, the Anglo-Saxon, if you will, was the one. We
ain't gonna make it to 100, y'all.
Was the one that was calling Angel Reese all types of bigoted names, right? And championing Caitlin Clark for doing the same thing, right? It wasn't us. Nobody from us said nothing about Caitlin. We was like, dude, she playing like, hey, that's tough. She's tough. We voted for her. We didn't, but I'm sure we did. Black folks, we voted for her and Angel. 40-point triple-double's crazy. Yeah. Shout out to white man.
He's a monster.
You said it. You
She's
brought
a
him up.
monster.
He brought up the angle. You said it. But there is no beef between them two, dog. Matter of fact, when Jill... That's going to make me angry. When the president's wife decided to try to invite both teams and set precedent, shout out to Caitlin Clark for having some class, understanding the moment, and saying, I don't think runner-ups usually go to the White House. I think LSU should enjoy the moment for them. Yeah, Nessa on my side. Yeah, what's up with that? She on my side. They'll call a spade a spade. We call a spade a spade. Spade and spade is black, so I don't even know what to call them. But we know what we're talking about. So,
Caitlin Clark, ladies and gentlemen.
but shout out to Caitlin Clark, though. Shout out to Caitlin
This
Clark.
is the part for me that I think may be missed by everybody. This is an insult to Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
She'll be back next year. Hey man, don't ask me to come up over there for the runner-up dinner. I plan to win this thing next year. So you surely, I'll be there. Just hold my invitation next year. I'll bring my trophy.
Matter of fact, if she win it, I'm gonna look at Jill. Jill, you better have that tweet already in the drafts. 365 days ahead of this next one. If Caitlin
I would
Clark
like for LSU to come back, and then we can celebrate both of these girls together. That's got to be the only tweet. That's got to.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll go ahead and book y'all on Southwest. Y'all come right on back. And since I invited them last year, this year y'all can come and we could just.
Is that the play? Time. She does that, thinking that you won't come, and then you be like, "Sure, I'll be there. Why not?" Is that the play?
I'll bring my trophy. Y'all bring y'all trophy, right?
Hey, man.
See, when you win, you can do whatever you want to, or when you had the realest podcast in the world. In this case, me.
Yeah. I'm going. We're gonna say what we're gonna say now. As
Reggie gonna say it. He gonna spell it for you. I hope you to be intelligent enough to get it. Honestly,
I don't really want to give you the chance. I'm not gonna put my faith in you. So I'm gonna let you know.
I have way more faith in you guys. I believe that if I explain it in a way, it'll be clear for you guys to understand. Reggie is in the business of not giving a fuck.
Society in the way that it is now shows me that y'all don't understand. So I have to lay it out.
I believe that our listeners are high society.
Our listeners, yeah, but I'm also talking to the first time listeners that we don't know. It is what it is.
All right, now when somebody pop in that chat off Twitch.
Come on. I'm with it. It is what it is. You a bot anyway. Shout out to the bots. But anyway, shout out to Shaq, dog. Shout out to Shaq. Shaq and Reebok send Michigan teen sneakers. If you remember last week, Eric Kilburn Jr. could not find any shoes to fit him. He's a 14-year-old, almost 7-foot child, behemoth of a person. Shaq is his idol, of course, because Shaq is one of the few people we knew at the time that wore a shoe that big. So Shaq sent and Reebok sent Michigan teens some sneakers so that he could actually fit them. And they sent him more than one, and they are fire. Like this navy blue suede over here, right up my alley. Ain't gonna lie to you.
And they sent these immediately. They were like, "Hey, man, they're in the process of I guess building him some sneakers." But in the process, they were like, "Hey, you don't see the white Soldier Reeds right there with the gold with the gum bottoms. You got to be old enough to remember the beginning of Cash Money to even know about that shoe."
Tees, Reeds, Jabos, it's all the brother knows.
But yeah, I'm happy that they got him. I can't imagine not being able to find shoes.
Yeah, so last week when Reebok, I think Reebok and other people were saying he's at the point now where he has to get his shoes specially made. First of all, he's like 15, so which is crazy. He has to get his shoes specially made because of how big he is. And they talked about it, but you really didn't hear anybody stepping up. I'm sure they did or were or whatever, but Shaq stepped up immediately and sent him some shoes. First off, I also want to talk about how big he is because Eric Kilburn Jr. is a big dude, right? But look how big his mom and dad are. They ain't small.
Yes. And I had not even thought about that. They are not for your
he
son
make them
to
look
be
regular.
That big of a guy. Yeah, this looks like a regular sized family. Like in this, he looks like he's probably about
6'4".
This is the more that you look at this, the more that you should not look at this.
Yeah.
because
that's him against regular sized people. So for y'all that are not for y'all, go Google for listen Eric Kilburn Jr. and the picture that you see, this gonna be it. Eric Kilburn with his family looks regular sized, right? I just told. I'm sorry, it's over here. Eric Kilburn and his family look regular sized over there, dog. I told y'all, right? Then you go to him against people that are the size of regular humans, and then him. So that means his mama is this size up to his shoulder pads.
Yeah. His mama, that's wild that they look like he looks like he's probably about 6'6" in that photo. He looks tall, but his mom, like they look like a regular middle America family. Well, they mess around and grab you and take you down through there. She is tall.
She's tall.
Yes.
He's tall.
But
my son can't play in that game. He out sick. Boy.
Yeah. What you gonna do? Say something to his daddy? Daddy.
What, you gonna ask for a birth certificate? No, you just gonna sit there and shut up. Like, all right, cool. I would say that.
When I tell you no, what you gonna do? But I'm just happy the dude can get sneakers, get shoes. I can't imagine like waking up every day.
Oh, that's what the point I wanted to make.
He could not physically put shoes on.
Shaq, you remember we talked about this before about Shaq taking his shoes and having the Shaq shoe and not selling them in the mall. He's only selling them. He would sell them in like Walmart and people were making fun of him like Shaq shoes got stuff at Walmart. And what was the first thing he said? Make fun of it now, but Shaq has been providing affordable shoes to the disenfranchised and disadvantaged for over 30 years now. Now, I'm not saying he's disenfranchised or disadvantaged but everybody can't afford specially made shoes. And for them to go out on social media and make that post shows me that I don't think they could either. So shout out.
Yeah,
shout out to Shaq.
And number one, I like Shaq doing good. He consistently finds a way to do good. And also, if you're in Atlanta, Friedman shoes might work. I know they make big sneakers in there.
But he's not in Atlanta. He live on a farm. Ain't no specially made shoe places there.
You know they have like mail and boxes and stuff, and they can send stuff now already.
Yeah, I do. Like I said, it's a reason I went to social media. But so let's get to basketball. Let's get into the NBA. There's a 31% chance that Victor Wembanyama ends up in Texas because all three teams are in the lottery. The Spurs, the Rockets, and the Mavs. It would be hilarious if Victor Wembanyama goes to the Houston Rockets. It would be hilarious to me. Because
why would that would be
well, because Wembanyama, from a cultural off the court standpoint, is more like a Rudy Gobert or Tim Duncan, right? He's from out of the country. The two teams that have like that culture, I don't say specialized, but have that culture for real, are the Spurs and the Mavericks. And Houston does not, or not known for it. I'll say they do, but it's not known for it.
Hey man, if they get him,
it's over. It's over. What? In 2002, Giannis, you better do something.
Mac will be down there so fast.
Specially made, 200-inch mattress.
Oh yeah,
30-foot mattress.
Putting $1 million on the Rockets every year, and you got a team there.
Yeah, you got a team, man.
Real team. Victor, Jabari Smith, Tari Eason, Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr. Unfortunately, Steven Silas will be gone.
Let's talk about it. That's not even on the list, but we're going to talk about it, man. Steven Silas. Houston, you guys, does the Houston Texans owner own the Houston Rockets? Because if he did...
No. Tillman Fertitta owns the Rockets. That's the guy who owns all the Papa's restaurants, Papa Do's, Papacitos.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they obviously have similar business practices. You hire somebody, a black man, and you give him the job for a failing team, and then you fire him right on time.
I think he does. I think he does on the Astros. That's the Landry's guy. I gotta look. But yeah, I think Houston will be great. I think the other part is if you look at the cities that are in the lottery, Houston is one of the better cities.
Yeah, it's probably the best. Who else is there?
Yeah, I would actually say, Houston is probably the best city for Victor Wembanyama.
Oh, not for Vic. No, not for Vic. Oh, you talking about just in terms of playing or city?
Money. Marketability, yes.
I said he's like Rudy Gobert, right? You can bring it back up. I said he's like Rudy Gobert, right?
Way more swag than Rudy.
Think so? I'm also 38 years old. So I'm not I don't know what swag for the 17-year-olds are anymore. But
okay, well when I look at his game, he doesn't have
yeah, talent-wise, but I mean culture-wise, Houston might be, he fall off the rails real quick. I like going to college from a small town. You going from Paris to strip club, one of the strip club capitals?
I can't even say that is not like going to college. That is like, no, we went to college. That is like going. Nope. That's everything. Everything. It's a city looking for a star right now. Yeah. This would be it, and he could make a ton of money. They give him all the money he wants, all the marketing he wants. They would love this one.
They would
love I love if he can't be in Atlanta, bro. I would like to see him Dallas. I would like to see him in Dallas with Luka. But I would love for him to be in the city that I live in too.
That would be Kristaps Porzingis Part 2. They would try to do Luka and Kristaps. That's what they try to do with Luka and Kristaps Porzingis.
Now this graphic is also a little misleading. Dallas has a 3% chance of getting that pick.
Well, we'll get to it later when we talk about the teams not in the play-in or playoffs. They might have left to that after that investigation over with. But let's get to the play-in, dog. Let's get to the play-in. The play-in is set. The playoffs are set. In the play-in on the East, it is the Heat versus the Hawks, the Raptors versus the Bulls. In the West, it's the Lakers versus the Timberwolves, and the Pelicans versus OKC. Shout out to OKC making the play-in. We thought they were dead. Till they do right by Silas. I see you, Sneaky. Shout out to OKC. We thought they were in the tankathon, but they are definitely not. We know. Let's start with the Western Conference before I go back to the Eastern Conference graphic. The Timberwolves are basically, they're conceding the eighth game to me. This game to me. Because they were put in a tricky situation because of what happened in their in their thing.
I would feel differently about that if Jaden McDaniel didn't get hurt. Jaden McDaniel is actually a very good defender. I think they say he's guarded the All-Stars for this year for the most minutes over a season. And I think that LeBron is going to try to step it up, and that's who would be the guy who would be doing his best to make it difficult for LeBron. And I think you're going to need that. And I feel like we're going to get to this Rudy Gobert situation, but I was
about to go to it right now.
Huh?
I'm about to go to it right now.
Yeah, go ahead, and then I will tell you how I feel about all of this.
The reason why I said that they're conceding this game is because in the last game of the season, Rudy Gobert and Kyle Anderson get into it. Of course, Gobert ends up throwing a punch at Kyle Anderson. It came out that Kyle Anderson said, "Yo, why don't you block some shots?" And Rudy Gobert said, "Why don't you get some rebounds?" Kyle Anderson said, "Man, shut the F up, B." And Rudy said, "What'd you say?" Threw that punch. And then They got separated, of course. Rudy Gobert then sends a heartfelt, I apologize to my teammates. Shouldn't have done it. It came out that Kyle Anderson said that y'all kiss his ass too much.
Yes. Which, okay, hold on. Wait. Stop right there. Okay, so there's a video that comes out, and it is from a Timberwolves staffer. They recorded the conversation of slow-mo talking about Rudy when he was headed to the locker room. This is the reason and that I believe that Rudy is on the outs. Because when he threw the punch, you can see Prince go at him. Now, I do understand Rudy was wrong for throwing the punch, but he also looked like he also had an issue with Rudy. So you have what it looks like to be two players to have an issue with Rudy. Then you have a staffer who it can only have been so many people who recorded this conversation. And we know one thing about all NBA locker rooms. They have video cameras. So they're going to be able to go through the video and see the people who were in that, who went into the locker room, and then from there by process of elimination, or you're going to be able to at least cut this group down to probably 5 or less people who recorded this. Just a process of elimination.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Draymond situation. I mean, it's exactly like the Draymond situation.
It's exactly like the Draymond situation. Somebody in the organization leaked that.
Yeah, somebody in the organization leaked it.
With the approval of the organization, I think.
Oh, you conspiracy theorying it up. Hey, listeners, somebody send me a tinfoil fitted. You went tinfoil fitted. We need tinfoil fitteds out here. I'm going to make my own. It's going to look raggedy if I do it, and I don't really want to do that. But you going to I didn't think about the conspiracy part, but I think Rudy's on the way out. I think they're going to have this didn't work, and they're going to have to blow it up immediately.
Yeah, one thing, I mean, about these jobs is these jobs are not the best paying jobs in the world. Like these are, working for the Timberwolves is a good job, but you're not set for life after a year. And if you know that there are cameras going in and at every exit to a locker room, there's a camera. So they're going to be able to say, oh, this is when he got ejected. This is when he went into the locker room. Boom, boom, boom. These are the people who were in the locker room at that time.
So with Rudy stealing off on Kyle Anderson, this is why Kyle Anderson, that shouldn't have leaked, and this is why Kyle Anderson can't say that, in my opinion. You said they're going to have to make a choice.
Oh, he can say that. He can surely say that. He's just stupid for saying it.
I feel like the choice is already made then. Unless, I don't, because you're not going to find anybody to trade for Rudy. There's nobody, to me, I think Rudy's trade value is just as bad or has suffered just as much of a hit as Trae Young. He's not viewed as the great Stifle Tower anymore, to me.
No, especially now Walker Kessler playing so well without him.
He looks like a liability. He's basically a big liability now.
Yes. But the reason Kyle Anderson, sure, you can say this, they got to make a decision. Bro, you are not on the people who can talk about decisions on this team.
That's what I'm saying. Like you are expendable more than Rudy. They already paid. Rudy's already paid. Unless they can find somebody, you are the one that is expendable.
Yeah, that. Now, do I think that you can find a job on another team? Sure, but you talking about you got to pick. You don't got to pick nothing. You can pick where you want. You can pick what time you want to come get your stuff from over here, and we will find a new team for you. You and your little $9 million of never having done anything in the NBA. Say what you want to. Rudy Gobert has got one of the best defensive careers in a long time.
He does.
Kyle Anderson, you're just a good basketball player.
Okay, that captain shit don't mean nothing.
Basketball player.
That captain shit don't mean nothing to the front office.
No.
The money means.
How much
the money. The money means what it means.
Yeah. Now I don't think that the team likes Rudy, but bro, you better tell Karl Anthony Towns, or you really need to tell Ant-Man to speak on your behalf.
I say Ant-Man is Shout out to Norwood, man. I gotta give you said immediately. This is Ant-Man's team. As soon as he got there, you said this is Anthony Edwards' team right now. This is no longer Karl Anthony Towns' team. And you're right.
And that's a shame. You got 2 big 8-foot light skins. Y'all let the one dark skin dude come in and take y'all team. He said,
adding to the stereotype. It's true.
and the worst part is y'all so damn tall. Y'all legitimate 8-footers. Y'all both so tall it don't make sense.
Yeah. They went out and they won without
My
Rudy.
closing point was, though, if Jaden McDaniel wasn't hurt, I think this team would have wanted to win to spite Rudy Gobert. I think that without Jaden McDaniel, it makes it exponentially more difficult. But I think that they want to prove that they can win without Rudy.
So since we're here, and the play-in starts tomorrow.
Hawks gonna lose.
Lakers or Timberwolves? You taking the Lakers? No Rudy Gobert.
Lakers.
No Jaden McDaniel.
No Rudy and no Jay McDaniel.
So you got Lakers versus Memphis
LeBron
in the first round.
Can't afford that loss. AD can't afford that loss. Rob Pelinka can't afford that loss.
The NBA would make an insane amount of money at first if they lost.
Yo, Patrick Beverly and Russell Westbrook would dance on their graves.
Russell Westbrook would for sure. Russell Westbrook would for sure.
Walk on their grave.
Russ be shooting. He be doing all that, throwing all that stuff up. But you got LeBron. You got the Lakers, and so the Lakers and the Grizzlies in the first round. I think that's not a bad matchup. I don't think the Lakers will win, but I don't think it's a bad matchup.
Well, that's actually a really good matchup because you can put 80 on Jaren Jackson Jr. and now
they
Jaren
have
Jackson
no
Jr.
center.
Very, very, very good.
They don't have another
but
center.
You don't have Steven Adams.
Or the dude that got hurt that they just paid that tore his Achilles.
Oh, yeah. But no, they brought Kenny Lofton to shore up their front line. I think that he could actually cause them problems because he's strong and he's physical. Dude. And I don't think the Lakers really want that.
But I don't know if he's in the best of shape to.
No, but
because he'll be guarding Rui Hachimura.
No, he would not. No, Lord,
no. Who he guard?
He gonna get barred.
Jared Vanderbilt?
That's the part.
Who he gonna guard? He's too big to guard anybody, but except for AD.
That. Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all exactly what happened because it's Monday, so that's when sports happen. So USC to hire Cliff Kingsbury. Now the part that I missed was they not firing Lincoln Riley. I was about to say, if you fire Lincoln Riley for Cliff Kingsbury, you are a new fool. But Lincoln Riley, I see what he's doing. You're right. I don't have an answer for Kenny Lofton playing defense. He too slow. Yeah, he ain't in good enough shape. LeBron will score 50 on him, boy. Hey, young fella, you're not moving fast enough.
So the other West Coast Western Conference playing is the Pelicans versus the Thunder. No Zion. I like the Pelicans here because Brandon Ingram is playing out of his mind.
Hold on. How many points you think Zion gonna score?
Well, if he goes 80 and a 65, he gets 2 points on his license. So,
hey, slow down coming through here, big fella.
I feel like if he drives the speed limit, then he'll have 0 points. Now in the game, he's gonna get bonus points on his app for ordering whatever food he wants to order while on the bench. That's the only points he about to get because ain't nothing else.
Pretzels, chili dogs, probably some cotton candy.
Not cotton candy though.
I could see him doing that.
Yeah, but so I
told y'all should have traded for Julius, but who am I? Just
I would love to see OKC win this game.
Me too.
I would love to see it, but Brandon Ingram is a problem. CJ McCollum is a problem. Trey Murphy III is a problem. What's the dude that got into it with Draymond? He's a problem. The Pelicans
everybody has gotten into it with
Draymond. The one where he was pointed at Draymond. He was like after they got into it in the game.
Oh, Trey
Jones.
Murphy.
No, Herb
Trey
Jones.
Murphy.
Herb Jones.
Oh,
Herb Jones.
Herb. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Yeah, so many people got into it with Draymond. You could pick like, all right, we'll half the league.
Yep. So that means then who you got winning between OKC and Minnesota? Because Rudy Gobert will be back.
Anthony Edwards wills them to win. But
Rudy Gobert
I'm
plays against the Thunder. And I don't now. That is one team that he could physically dominate is the Thunder. They don't have I don't know who their center is.
Yeah, nah, you're right. They should, but the Timberwolves don't play the smartest offense. Yeah, he should be able to
they play
dominate.
defense now. They can put some players on you to play defense now.
Yeah.
And I don't know
They
who
should
stops
just camp
Anthony
him in the
Edwards
middle and throw him the ball, keep the ball above your head, dunk the ball every time. They don't really have a big to contend with him. And then just stand in the paint, and all them dudes on OKC like 6'7" anyway. They want to attack the basket. Rudy just don't let them do it. So Anthony Towns play somewhere, shoot some more jumpers.
So the East,
he got to buy.
Oh, here you go. The East, Raptors, Bulls, 9-10 seed. Who you got?
These are two teams in a very bad place.
Yeah.
Because Bulls, they have the Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan issue, which is truly an issue.
Mm-hmm.
And Vooch is old.
Mm-hmm.
The Raptors just have too many guys who are the same size.
Which really ain't the worst in today's game if you had a big.
Yeah.
Because they're too. They need. Yeah.
Oh, the Raptors. Pascal Siakam probably runs laps around Vucevic, and Vucevic isn't.
Oh, they put Patrick Williams on Pascal. They'll put Patrick Williams on Pascal. They wouldn't put Vooch on. Vooch might not get a lot of playing time in this game.
Well, then Patrick Williams ain't gonna score no points. Pascal still gonna get you 20.
He ain't gonna score nothing. Patrick Williams is the young Tony Snell out there playing, just running and playing defense.
and he's getting a little bit better, but no, I'm not afraid of him. And yeah, like the NBA just said, they haven't had any games with less than 80 points all season. They haven't done that since like 1959 and 1969. Oh, they're gonna score too many points. Everybody's. I mean, Hawks, we score 100 points every night.
Just give up 130. With that being said, man. The Hawks and the Heat play.
No, they don't. It's a bye week. It's the bye game for the Heat. They're going to stay in Miami. They're probably going to have Udonis' little retirement reception dinner before the game.
I was about to say, because they definitely had his last game here where he scored 24 points, was 9 of 17, and had 3 threes, which is just crazy.
Hey, John Collins, maybe you should try to play like Udonis Haslem. Anybody can get it.
That's how you feel about the Hawks? So Udonis did.
Yes,
he did
John Collins, you need to have
his.
more Udonis Haslem nights.
Look at this. Now, also, I feel like Orlando just decided it's the end of the year. We're not playing anybody anyway. Let's just go ahead and allow them to.
Yes. This is a Florida basketball god, man. Let him have his time in the sun. We all gonna probably be on new teams next year anyway, because Paolo gonna get us out of here. Especially if you not 8 feet tall, you don't belong on this team in the first place.
UD was going. UD.
This is all-star game defense. All-star game defense. Look, he just like, hey, all right, shoot it, man. Go ahead. And it's Udonis Haslem. He's played 7 minutes in the last 4 seasons. I didn't expect it for him to have this much in the tank.
Why? He's only played 7 minutes in 4 seasons. Why? He can play.
He's older than us.
You know your dad. He definitely wouldn't have sat in the ice bath. But your dad, when you were younger, when he was also, 40, he play you. He'll give you a solid 30 minutes of retro dad basketball.
UD is in good shape, yo.
You get paid to work out. You know how good a shape you be in when you know you ain't got to go to the presentation. You just got to go work out all day, run around in practice.
Why is Udonis Haslam in better shape than Zion Williamson? Yeah, I said it. Luka too.
I'm about to say Luka too now.
But both. And you throw Kenny Lofton in that 3, boy.
Shout out to we haven't seen this in a while. There's a lot of stuff that you miss about that you didn't realize you missed during COVID. Udonis Haslam got the going away ceremony. Bam ended up buying Udonis Haslam a rocking chair. D-Way showed up. Everybody's there. They honored him. I think he was talking.
So I got you a culture rocking chair. And this is just for, all the many nights, all them bad jokes you gave me. There you go, man. Take your seat. Hey, D-Wade, come hold this for me. D-Wade, come hold this for me. Come hold this rocking chair for me.
Shots. But so it is a fire rocket chair though. It's got the 3 rings on the side. It's got 100. You know, it's tough. Got his name on there. Got playing, the 40.
He'll be. I definitely expect to see him in a shirt in slacks next season on the bench in the same place, just without a jersey on. He has been a staple as far as I'm considered on the Heat coaching staff. Like I said, he hasn't played. He's played less than a game in the past, like probably 4 or 5 years, minus the last game.
Conflating body type and fitness with athletes. Get on them, Sneaky.
Body type. What type is Zion? What's Zion body type? Tell me. And Luka. You can be I hate when people are like, oh, my body type. You could be in shape, bro. They allow you to be in shape. Hey, wait till we get to Russell Okung. That's gonna fix everybody talking about, oh, it's a body type.
Well, linemen are football different, but we'll get there. So we talked about the Heat. They're getting ready to play. The Hawks have a little bit of controversy on themselves as well. Hawks ownership has given the front office a green light for whatever it wants to do with the roster this offseason, which including Trae Young, trading Trae Young.
Trae Young.
I feel like they alluded to this when they hired Landry Fields, though. When they hired Landry Fields and they said he had total control of the roster. Now, we said, no, he don't, that Trae is going to try to do whatever he's going to do behind the scenes. But to get the double down from the Hawks ownership, that's tough. Yeah, he did. He said UD is in better shape than Luka. He said that, Sneaky.
Yeah, I'll stand by that. Which one of those guys? I think that UD can probably run twice as far as Luka. But yes, and I'm not even gonna let that chat box permeate in that hate. Y'all do not see this screen here. I've been on cloud nine. I almost had a praise break when I saw this. That we finally, I'm glad that we finally got to a point where we're understanding that, hey, maybe, just maybe, Trae has to be on the list of people who can go. I'm happy. I almost wore my Atlanta Hawks shirt today, but I didn't want to play with the juju and have them change their mind. But I think, number one, this is in direct response to how we went out of the playoffs last year, embarrassingly. And I think that this is also the first time that we've heard anybody say anything with their chest since Trae Young has been in office.
But then they fired him.
Yes. And that's the reason that I know you said that you feel like that with Landry, but the way that not Trae Young, but the way that Travis Schlenk was unceremoniously not fired, but just put out to pasture. I think if you're around the organization after you see them do that to Travis, who, remember, Travis is a world champion for the rings he won at Golden State, you have to believe Trae has to be untouchable now. I can't say anything for fear I may be headed with Travis. And Nate, the other person who did not like him, and Lloyd.
I think Lloyd got fired, got more Trey, but it was the handling of Cam Reddish too. I think is what.
Well, yeah. But Trey
got
was
Lloyd
not
out of there.
I don't think that Trey and Lloyd Pierce are
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah, losing to the G League Sixers team didn't help. Although I will say, I mean, in that game, we talked about it before. It's with Trey. It's never the numbers. From quarters 1 through 3, if he's having a decent game, it's never the numbers. He's gonna play, but it's when the game gets tight. It's when the pressure gets on, which is so disappointing because when the pressure was on, when we went to the Eastern Conference Finals, he answered the bell.
Rose and Sean. We as a team had a different belief in ourselves, and we had way different just joy of playing basketball. We look so beaten before games now. We don't look like we enjoy it. And you're right. He had a fantastic game. 25 points and 20 assists.
First 25 plus points. He had 28 points and 20 assists against the 76ers. He played really, really well. A few players just didn't play any defense. Nobody played defense. Normally we talk about Trey not playing defense, but that game, nobody played defense, and we ended up losing. Sneaky said Trey is Dak Prescott.
No,
he's better than that.
And this is the thing. If you have a 28-point game with 20 assists, the last play in regulation was you letting the time expire and for us getting a shot clock violation. That's your last possession of this game. Just even the games that he does play well, he does something like that, and I'm like, but I sound like a hater because I'm like,
well, you sound like a hater now because we're supposed to be
with
talking about his 20 assists and 25 plus points. You said one line.
I lost that game to the G League, bro.
You said one line.
That game. I had to really duck everybody on social media, and I'm glad it was the end of the season, so nobody was paying attention. That game is embarrassing. Yeah. And don't y'all hit my text now. It's a week later. Thanks for listening to the podcast, though.
Yeah, most of y'all teams not in the playoffs anyway. So, DeJounte and Trae Young average Trae 26-10. DeJounte 20-6 are the second set of teammates in history to average at least 20 points and 6 assists in a single season, behind Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. When Jordan had 30-6 in 80 games, Pippen played all games and averaged 21-7 for the 91-92 Chicago Bulls. Shout out to the Hawks for doing well on
Thanks for pointing
offense.
that out, Kev.
Shout out to the Hawks for pointing out that offensively, these two are dynamic. I love the Hawks PR team. Man, y'all need to take Jordan Pippen off this graphic. Y'all need to take Jordan Pippen off this graphic.
They find a way to spin things positively in ways that I have never seen. We will get cooked in the game, and then they'll flip up the good highlights
and
then
not
they
post the
put
score.
A caption.
Won't even post the score.
No, they post the score, but they just put final. No witty caption. No 4 dubs in a row. Remember that 1.1 all them games in a row? It was like WWE. Nah, none of that. Final. Yeah, this is Jordan in defense. This is Jordan and Pippen without any defense. This is it, right?
Offensively, man, it just goes to show. Offensively, we are insane. We got to figure out how to play some defense and got to figure out how to have better basketball IQ. At the position where you need basketball.
You know the best way to do that is get Jaylen Brown to become an Atlanta Hawk.
He wants. I mean, the table is set. While I open up the rest of these links, I mean, the table is set.
I got my fork and knife right here. Make the table. What? Hey,
he already said that, he's already put the doubt in the air about Boston. He doesn't like the culture up there. Of course, he's very, very, very pro the culture, pro black, and he's extremely, extremely educated.
Just come on to Atlanta. Just come to Atlanta.
And he's the Players Association president, vice president. Like, he's very abreast of the political climate of the country. So being in Boston probably ain't the best, but of course they're winning. So, I mean, that can drown out a lot of noise. But when you say something about it, That means somebody turning the volume up a little bit. So come on home. Said all of that. Come on home. But if they have to make a trade, you have to get that caliber of player. You have to get a Jaylen Brown. I keep saying Anthony Edwards is not going to happen, but as I see punches thrown and all of that stuff, it looks to me that they'll just blow up the whole team and keep him versus do anything else.
The rest of these chumps, no, I don't. No, it's like I told you, it's his team. If I can get rid of these dudes who getting paid all this money and then not affecting us winning, they can go. He at least has heart.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and tell y'all the early trade packages for Trae Young have been
John Collins disrespectful. They're the same level as the John. It's just disrespectful.
As offended as I used to get about John Collins trade packages, the Trae Young, the first batch, even worse. They talking about Tyler Hero or Duncan Robinson and a first. Boy, I watched Trae let the shot
shoot from every night out of principle. If y'all send me $17 million a year bench warmer, I don't even think Duncan Robinson got a number no more. I ain't seen him since the winter solstice. I don't know where he is, bruh. He don't even play more than the G Leaguers. Mac McClung plays more.
I will kick over their whole damn basketball.
Nope. I hope it happens.
Take all
I hope it happens.
My job that plays me. I will road trip to Atlanta. I'm not even buying a ticket. I'm driving and stewing. I'm in there full crock pot, and I'm gonna get to Phillips Arena, and I'm gonna take my right foot and I'm gonna kick it all the way down by myself.
State Farm.
I swear to you, if you send me State Farm, Phillips Arena, the Omni, hell, Ted Turner Stadium, Truist Stadium. What else in Atlanta? The Big Chicken. I will kick it all over if y'all send me Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero. Man, now I'm not gonna give Trae Young to Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo. Hell no. Nothing. And Kyle Lowry will get you cussed out.
I don't think Miami has enough to offer. I think for what Atlanta wants, they're going to have to go and get. It's got to be a top 15 player, and Jimmy Butler's too old for that trade. So I can see him going to the Magic. I can see him going to the Magic.
Is Zach LaVine,
which would be funny because you talk so bad about Zach LaVine. That would be funny.
He's at least taller. Give me taller Trae Young
with no defense.
Shorter Trae.
The defense is the same.
Nah, at least he's taller. At least
we gonna see. They play tomorrow. How about to say you can say the defense not to say they gonna play tomorrow. We gonna see. We gonna see.
Oh, we are gonna see them play because we gonna lose to the Heat, y'all.
We gonna see.
We gonna lose.
So
Braves win, baby.
Oh, we won.
Chop it out. Chop that thing out. Yes, sir. In 10. Wasn't the win that I thought we was gonna get, but we won.
We was up 3.
We
was up 3-1 in the ninth. Oh, Murphy.
We won that. Hey, man.
To center. Riley scores. We went. Oh, they were up 4-3 in the bottom of the ninth, bottom of the 10th. So let's talk about it.
I think by pure pause this, no Cam, no Mace. But yeah, just strictly size wise, he's just better than Trae. And
yeah,
Trae,
I mean, I can
always have to remember, he's playing against the worst perimeter player they have. Murray gonna take the smaller guy, Hunter gonna take the bigger guy, and then Trae takes Tom Satoransky.
Who gets 38.
Tom Satoransky goes for 34. Personal high, career high, season high.
Yeah. But speaking of teams in the playoffs, we talked about the Clippers before, man, with Russell Westbrook dancing on the Lakers' grave if they lose. Paul George is expected to be sidelined to start of the first round of the playoff series versus the Suns. You know, he had that.
How was he still not? He ain't been healthy in so long.
Well, no. Now, this last injury was scary. When they fell into his knee, it looked like he tore his knee. It looked like the Giannis injury against the Hawks in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Finals, where it looked like he tore his knee and he was out for 2 games. That's what that.
And then he was just like, I'm a superhuman robot. You may know me as X-Men or Terminator.
But that was also the finals too. But that was the finals too, though. If this were the finals, I believe Paul George could play. But this is not the finals. And it was the regular season, and now it's here. So now they may be taking a calculated risk.
I feel like he's always big hurt.
He's always hurt.
Always like, yeah.
He's always hurt. It's freak injuries. Like the USA game was freak injury. This was a freak injury. He isn't, it's tough.
That's got to deal with your psyche to be like, I'm always hurt. Like,
why
you got Mikal Bridges, who done played 352 NBA games in a row. He hadn't missed a game since probably like high school. He played all of the Villanova games, every game. He's played every NBA game. And Paul George's like, man, I'm trying to make it through a damn season, bro. What did I do wrong?
Yeah. So Paul George is out for the Clippers against the Suns, and they definitely desperately need him because that's a good series if he plays. Because the Clippers kind of match up against him with Paul George, but without Paul George and apparently without they're gonna have a tough time with the Suns. Now they played the Suns and they had to play because of the season. And somehow Bones Highland and Mason Plumlee got into it. Now we just showed y'all the punch between Rudy Gobert and Shlomo, but Bones Highland and Mason Plumlee get into it, and I for the life of me, I can't understand why everybody is fighting at the end. And Bones got in Mason Plumlee's face. Now, I understand you from the Delaware and Northeast, but Mason Plumlee a big dude, bro.
Can we go back to the last video? I mean, can we go back to the still, please? Our fantastic co-host. I want you to notice who is moving backwards in this. I want you to also know who is actually leaning forward in the top photo. That's the same person who got ejected from his space by the much smaller individual. I understand that the Plumlee brother comes from a long line of superhuman-sized people. Bones Highland is unimpressed. He's extremely unimpressed. And I think Bones Highland is letting you know, because I can see your extra long, wide neck is leaning forward. I didn't see in the next photo, you've been ejected from your position while Mr. Highland is standing in the same spot.
Yeah. And here's the video of it.
Do with that what you will. He looked up and pushed him out of the way. You gotta probably put hands on him, Plumlee. You ain't gonna be pushing me like that, little dude.
Yeah. And then he went back to him and tried to get. You saw that? He went back, was like, "I dare you to say something now." After Plumlee sat down,
and Bones walked right up on him too.
Yeah. Plumlee was about to sit down.
Hey, I had this smoke from on the floor. I'm coming. Yeah, you did. He did walk back over there.
Yeah, he walked right back on him. I was like, because Plumlee kept talking. I was like, oh, Plumlee was really upset.
Oh, you think he hit him with the Rudy Gobert? I'll beat your ass.
Bones said, "What's up, then?" Now, Bones, he also ain't been ready.
Whop bamboo right upside your head. Now, you know you're not going to move fast enough, so you have to strike him.
And also, Bones, he was in the off-season news for getting into it with somebody talking trash to him at the court. Like, he been about that life, apparently. He has been about
And I want you to notice, who did they restrain?
Bones.
You typically restrain the more dangerous person. You protect the person who is less dangerous. Ain't nobody restraining.
Yeah.
I think they're more concerned about Bones.
Well, yeah, because I mean, also, if you are his associate or friend, he's already got kicked out of Denver for disagreements in the locker room and locker room behavior, allegedly, and not going into the game, not listening to the coaches. So, shout out to Norman.
Hey, you want to
Powell.
come play in Atlanta, kid? We like a little spirit.
Shout out to Norman Powell and all of them for at least stepping up. Look at Russ. Russ like, hey, go do it.
Russ is out of it.
Russ stepped back like, yeah, go ahead.
He's not even in the camera angle.
Not
He
after
like,
the
bro,
push.
y'all good.
He walked
None
over
of y'all
like,
gonna
nah.
fight.
Look. Russ got
Get
out of
him
there.
then. Let him get to him. That always be my answer. Let him get to him then.
Let's
He
see what
wanna
we got. Hey, man. So let's talk about teams not in the playoffs.
We talked about knocking out people. Now we talking about
The teams that was knocked out.
being out of their city.
Hey, man. Dame. Yes. I don't have much of an appetite for building with guys 2 and 3 years away and not really going after it. This is from the book of Manny Machado, Negotiating. I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I'm going to let you know either you do what is necessary for us to be competitive for a title or trade me. That's what this sentence says.
It's not like his team is a bunch of young players. The only person I feel like is that young is Anthony Simons. Jeremy Grant ain't young. Yusuf Nurkic ain't young. But also, Dame, it's time for you to go. You know how you have that one friend who always stayed one place a little too long?
Oh, they got Shaden
go
Sharp,
home.
Anthony Simons, Matisse Thybulle, Cam Reddish.
None of those guys are young guys. Those are guys who are who are you considering young?
How old is Cam Reddish? Cam Reddish is 23.
Cam Reddish is the same age.
He's 23.
Yes, we expect to be competitive. We expect DeAndre Hunter to be competitive.
Matisse Thybulle is 26. So I'll say Matisse Thybulle is right in the prime of his career.
I feel like the majority, that's an appropriate age of a team
Jabari Walker
that is
20.
trying to win.
No, Jabari Walker is 20. Justice Winslow doesn't play. Nasir Little, 23. Like they got a lot of young players. That's why it's basically time for them to go. Like it's time for Dame to be out of there.
No. Dame, it's time for you to go.
That's what I said.
You need to go. Oh, I thought you said it's time for them to go. No, Dame, it's time for you to be somewhere else. I hope he makes it. I wish there was a way he could make it to Miami. I would love to see him in Miami.
You can make it to Miami. You'd have to. I don't know. Draft pick. I don't know. They got the cap space to take on Kyle Lowry. And they'd have to rebuild. They'd be tanking.
They're tanking anyway. They taking with Dame. You might as well take without him.
What about Dame in Minnesota?
Too many moving pieces in Minnesota.
Minnesota. Just trade Rudy.
I don't want Rudy. Not that long, stupid contract. No thanks. If I'm trading for Dame, if I have to decide between Rudy and Kyle Lowry, at least give me Kyle Lowry. He's expiring at the end of next year.
Dang, that thing is there till 2026. That's 3 more years. $206 million.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Give me at least, then I can clear my slate. I can get rid of Kyle Lowry. It's gonna be a rough year.
Dang,
I just gotta go. You go ahead and pay Anthony Simons immediately. Hey man, we really believe in you. We're gonna get Nurkic out of here. Hey, Jeremy Grant, you got 2 options. You can stick around for a few years, or we can let you go too. Those are really where we're at. And we'll really honor either one. It's a lot of teams. I feel like he'd be a good Laker, Jeremy Grant. I don't know what you would give up. No, they don't have anything.
Hey, Kev.
I'm trying to think.
Is there a world scene where he goes to Philly?
No, but I can see him going to the Rockets.
No. That's the same. You're still with players that are 2 to 3 years
No,
away.
absolutely not. Especially if you could get Wembanyama, then you have Wembanyama at the 5.
Everybody's 2 to 3 years away.
Oh,
yeah, they are. Jabari Parker is not going to be an all-star next year.
no, but Wembanyama, Jabari, Smith, Jeremy Grant, Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Green. Yeah, I would like to see that. I'm interested in that. I'm surely interested in that.
I would if I'm Dame. I'm Dame, I'm not.
Or
I'm
you
not.
could get one of those guys from OKC. I would.
If I'm Dame, I'm not going there. Dame, if I'm Dame, you got to send me to. I think.
No. Jeremy Grant. I'm not talking about Dame. No, Dame is.
Oh, you talking about Jeremy Grant? I ain't worried about. I don't care about Jeremy. We talking about Dame. Dame need to get out of there. Jeremy Grant can stay. I don't care. I'm talking about Dame. Dame need to go. Is there a world where Dame ends up in
Dame to Philly?
Is there a world where yeah, you got to pay Maxey. Is there a way that you can get Dame to New York? Are there pieces that you give up to get Dame? Brooklyn.
They don't got no picks. They sent them all to the Heat.
Brooklyn?
I mean, not the Heat. They sent them to the Rockets. Brooklyn don't have them picks. Remember, they traded for James Harden. All of their picks are in Houston. That's the reason I'm saying that Houston.
What did they trade? What did they get back for? They got picks in the Kevin Durant trade. They had picks in the Kyrie Irving trade.
I'm Dallas and Phoenix. Well,
what do you mean? Dallas is in the lottery.
The Phoenix picks ain't gonna be good. Let me tell you that now. Kevin Durant ain't never lost in the Suns jersey, ever, away or home. He's never lost in that jersey. And Dallas, yeah, I just don't think that because they were desperate when they traded them picks. They're probably either down the line or not great.
If he wants to be with a contender, there ain't really too many places he can go then. Right? Let's look at it.
Yeah, I have to look at the Eastern Conference again to remember who.
I'm going to pull up the playoff bracket. I'm going to pull up the playoff
I feel
bracket.
like...
There a world where Dame ends up in Milwaukee?
Cleveland.
No. For who would you?
Why
Darius
not?
Garland? For Darius Garland?
Darius Garland and need one more of something.
That's
the issue.
That's if Cleveland makes it to, I don't see it. I think Cleveland's locked into what they have. I don't see them making any.
Cleveland doesn't have that other player that's good enough for you to make it work.
The answer is the Clippers.
You would need Darius Garland, and you would need like that next guy just isn't that good for the Cavs. That's to me is the part that I don't trust. I don't want Danny Green, Ricky Rubio, Isaac Okoro, Karis LeVert, Chetty Osman, Dean Wade, Robin Lopez, Big Lil Mobley, Neto, Lamar Stevens, nor Windler. I don't want any of those guys. And Darius Garland alone is not enough.
I said Cleveland wasn't it. You said Cleveland. I said the Clippers. This is the teams that are in the playoffs or the play-in. Miami does look good. The net. I said the Nets. You said no. They ain't got no picks. That's what you said. The Pelicans got picks and players
Ben
to move.
Simmons, that will be the answer.
Well, you better send me. They ain't got enough picks to send me. Ben Simmons' contract still got a couple years on it, don't it?
Yeah, that's the issue.
I'm not taking that.
I mean, yeah, like to me, once again, Spencer Dinwiddie.
I was about to say the Clippers is it, dog. The Clippers or New Orleans are the two teams
what you
that I would
sending me?
Paul George.
What are you sending me?
Paul George. Yeah, Paul George. You could have one of them guards. You have one of them guards. Who you want? Which one you want?
It's gonna be tough to move Dame. It's gonna take, but you might
To a
have to
contender.
move Dame
To a contender is gonna be tough. It is
in
gonna
like
be tough.
a 3-team deal. Send Trey to Portland.
Ain't no way we taking.
Wait. Here it is.
No, I don't want
Send Trey to Portland.
Norwood, the 2K god.
I was thinking he ain't gonna want to go to Washington.
Who?
I would like
Dame
Beal.
didn't know.
Yeah.
There's no way.
No.
Dame has to go to you. You would trade Paul George and either Terrence Mann or Norman Powell or one of them players. Luke Kennard's not on the team anymore. Eric Gordon, yeah, he can go. You trade one of them guards and PG, and you get Dame.
I don't know.
Sneaky. Dame said he does not want to be on a team where they are rebuilding for 2 to 3 more years. Dame wants to go to a contender. The Clippers are the Dame from Cali.
Yeah, I think the Dame on the Magic. Shit, they better be win now.
Yeah, you need a wing.
I know that you probably think that this is crazy. The Jazz.
Again, Dame ain't going to the Jazz. Y'all got to read the quote. I don't have much of an appetite for building with guys 2 and 3 years away and not really going after it. Unless you add something else with Dame, the Jazz ain't it.
Lauri Markkanen, Walker. Yeah.
Good segue though.
Yeah, I believe that there are teams that are like right there on the cusp. There'll always be a team like Cleveland. Before Evan Mobley, they weren't really too much of anything.
They also got Evan Mobley. They traded for Jared Allen. Like, they had other pieces, and then they got Evan Mobley. They got Darius Garland already there.
You're right.
Then they got Evan Mobley first. Evan Mobley was the draft pick, and the trade was the 2 that made Cleveland the number 4 seed. That I wouldn't say that. But since we talked about the Jazz, Lauri Markkanen will serve in the Finnish military. I was wondering how you say that. What are the people of Finland called? They're called finishers. There's a joke there. Military service is mandatory for male citizens of Finland and must be completed by the age of 30. Lauri is I think he's 24. Mm-hmm.
I'm out. If I was willing to send you Jordan Poole, Klay Thompson,
Don't send black people to Utah.
Is that enough for Dame?
Jordan Poole and Klay Thompson?
Yes. No, it's not enough. Jordan Poole and Jonathan Kuminga and a first?
Ew. Who would come off the bench?
Oh, Klay got to play the 3.
They're going to get cooked at the 3.
I mean,
but you going to score 1,000 points.
You be out there with Jordan Poole anyway. You just swapping. Yeah, you're losing Jonathan Kuminga, but you're swapping Jordan Poole for Dame. That's a trade up.
It works. The money works too, I believe. It's kind of crazy.
I mean,
it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, and Jordan Poole, you've seen him play pretty good.
It'll probably have to be Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. You got to trade Wiggins. And that's what makes that work. But I don't think they want to trade Wiggins. I think Wiggins fits. I would rather trade Jordan Poole and Kuminga than trade Wiggins.
But Dame could really make it. Dame's ability to score a ton of points.
That would be the second most unfair trade we'd ever seen the Golden State Warriors make, because the first one wasn't really a trade; it was signing.
Oh yeah,
but
yeah, that's the other part. Like, you give them a heater, and Steph has been on a heater. Klay led the league in 3-pointers.
That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's not fair. That's fair. I would watch it because I would try to see who could win, who could hit the most threes. You have the best 3-point shooters on one team in the league? No.
But wait, This is the thing, though. You look at the Blazers team, you have Anthony Simons, you have Jordan Poole, you have Andrew Wiggins, and you have Jeremy Grant.
We down the rabbit hole now, y'all. We here. I was going to talk about Lauri Markkanen. We still going to talk about it. We'll probably take some stuff off of football, but I'm going to put, since you want to go Golden State, I'm going to go. Let me see how much this person makes first.
I think that the Blazers have to be okay with getting Jordan Poole and Andrew Wiggins. Yeah, you have all you would need is a legitimate 5.
Ooh, can't do it. Dame makes $44 million a year.
Yeah. What were you asking for? Wiggins and Poole make around that.
No, that's fine. I was gonna throw another team into the mix if they don't win this year. The Suns.
Ooh.
Dame, Book, and KD. But Chris Paul only makes $30 million. Dame makes 44. So you have to subsidize that 14 million, and there's no other person to send to subsidize that 14 million that I can think of, maybe that they would take. Because you're not gonna take an old Chris Paul for a younger Dame. You're not gonna do that. So you got to give them somebody else, and there's nobody to give them.
Wait, how much does Ayton make?
$40 million? No, 26.
No.
Give me DeAndre Jordan. Why would you think I'm looking for DeAndre Jordan in 2022?
What? Is he still in the NBA? But yeah, that might be a situation where you can finally get 8
4 years, 132. He takes a cap hit of 30 million.
And
30,
yeah, so that's 60 million. You said Chris Paul makes 30 million too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that 44 to 60 ain't gonna make it.
You gotta figure there's a way. Dame and Dallas. Would you ever have Dame or Kyrie?
Dame
in Dallas.
But you can't trade. You have to sign and trade.
What? Yeah, because Kyrie wants a max deal, which
Portland
ain't gonna do. But
and Portland, boy, I'm not allowing my good asset Anthony Simons to get over there playing with Kyrie.
Yeah, you need more of a point guard than anything else. You need like a pure.
And you're not. I like Kyrie and I love all the philanthropy things, but his inconsistency in playing basketball on a regular basis, and I respect his ability to do that. I can't. You got to come to work at Norwood Enterprises. Me and you come to work every day for the splash cash. So, yeah, you got to come on through here, big dog. We here every day, 9 to 5 at least, at minimum.
Speaking of coming to work, Luka telling y'all I never want to leave. I saw the report. I don't know who. Somebody said that I was going to request a trade. It was funny because I didn't know that was true. I didn't say it. I'm happy here. There's nothing to worry about. Go ahead and put that to rest. Now, they said in the report, though, they said could request a trade. But
yes, of course. They're insinuating. And like the thing that they brought up was Miami. And I said the culture in Miami does not fit Luka. You have to really their fitness thing.
The assets. They don't have anybody to trade. I mean, you have to trade Jimmy, and Jimmy ain't. Yeah. And next year you'd have to do it because his contract's up. Yeah.
And Mark Cuban is not taking a deal that involves Jimmy Butler for Luka Doncic. No.
And Jimmy Butler ain't going. That's a full rebuild.
You're not going to be able to get. You're not going to be able to buy Luka Doncic off of Mark Cuban. That is the honest to God truth. The only way you're getting Luka Doncic is at when his contract is up. There's no other way. Who do you think that he would trade him for? That's nobody. I don't think that Mark Cuban I think very highly of Luka, but I also think that Mark Cuban thinks that Luka Doncic is the best player in the NBA.
Oh yeah, he definitely does.
He's not taking. I'm trying to think of who he thinks that because he's not going to take a guy like LeBron or KD. They way too old. I think he'd probably be like, no. I think he would say no to Jason Tatum. And I guess that's probably the best guy for about that age range.
Dame to Boston.
I think he's going to say no. Huh?
Dame to Boston would be crazy. And they got the pieces to make it work.
And Blazers be like, send me Jaylen Brown.
I don't think
Anthony Simons and Jaylen Brown.
I don't know if you do that. I think they would trade. They would try to trade everybody else. They would trade Brogdon. They would trade White.
No, you're not going to give us broken parts and old used batteries for Dame.
Marcus Smart. No. I think they would trade Marcus Smart.
You can send Marcus dumb. I don't care what the level of IQ is. If it ain't Jaylen Brown, don't even hit send. I'm gonna take that as a sign of disrespect.
Well, then we'll go to the finals. You stay over there. The NBA, speaking back to the Mavericks, the NBA will investigate the Mavericks' decision to rest key players in Friday's loss to the Bulls. So we talked about this briefly on Saturday Morning Live, I believe. But the Mavericks were, if they won against the Bulls, they were going to make the play-in, I believe. The Mavericks ended up playing Luka Doncic one quarter and then sat the rest of the starters. Okay, I say key players because they're just a team full of bench players.
Yeah, guys.
So for me, this only matters if they were to take. Hold on. The point of this, the play-in and all of that, is to eliminate exactly what the Mavs are doing, which is like, we're not gonna play the play-in just to go get smoked in the first round. That's what the NBA is trying to eliminate. So if the NBA is trying to eliminate this, you gotta come down hard and investigate the Mavericks. Otherwise, they just did it so. I think they did it. It was so blatant and so disrespectful.
So for me on this one, if you don't take my first round draft pick, this is not a problem. That is the only thing that you can do to Mark Cuban is take away draft cap.
Which is why I said about Victor Wembanyama, which is why I said that.
But I mean, they only have really a 3% chance of getting him, so that's not really the thing. The removing him out of the Wembanyama is not the issue. You just trying to build a team. You need more shots at finding good players. Cheap good players on top of that, because you have a Supermax guy already. You can find Mark Cuban all the money in the world. He's not gonna be bothered.
So if they take a draft pick, then
Lord, that takes so much to prove.
No, and you can just sat him in the first. He wasn't hurt. They just said the NBA can prove what they want to prove. If they want to investigate this and prove that they tanked and did this on purpose and punish them, if they want to, they can. Whether they do it or not, we don't know.
This is fake concern, because you know what the NBA also doesn't want? Luka to get dogged out in the first round. They understand that too. That's their golden boy. That's the guy who they try to sell as much as they can. Yeah,
well, that's what I said. I said the NBA could prove it, but is whether they want to or not.
This will be a lot of fake concern. I know y'all saw it, so I gotta say something, but I really don't care. And I knew that when they traded for Kyrie, what that was. Hey, this all we got. This is my last card in the deck. If it walks across the table, then congratulations. But I'm not gonna be surprised if I lose to a 3 of spades. Well, I knew I shouldn't have kept this ace of hearts this long in the first place.
Well, when you don't make the playoffs, they always say 1, 2, 3 Cancun. If you're not gonna make the playoffs, you might as well flex and just say 1, 2, 3 Belize.
Segway King.
They say 1, 2, 3 Belize.
Right by the real.
Reggie Bullock bought an island and has renamed it Bullock Island. I don't remember if we covered this last week or not, but when the Mavs didn't make the playoffs and they got sent to Cancun, I said, we got to talk about it again.
Reggie plays for Brooklyn now.
Reggie Bullock? I'm sorry?
Didn't they trade him to Brooklyn?
When?
For Kyrie.
No.
Oh, my bad. You're right. Oh, DFS. They the same person to me. Oh yeah, you're right. My bad.
Like, jeez.
Yeah, you're right. Go on to the Bullock Island. My bad. I definitely thought you.
Oh man, stepped on that. I was on a roll too, but it's cool. Yeah, he plans to build a resort for both family and guests too, to use the vacation, and he's named it Bullock Island. It's a 5-acre island in Belize. So that's dope on so many ways. I've always wanted, my dream for my family was to buy a family home, and like so that everybody can
international family home.
For him to do an international family home is one thing. For him to buy an island is genius, and it's probably going to be, if he does it right, could be one of the more exclusive resorts in Belize, because it's a 5-acre island. It's not that many people can be there.
Just the people who we want to be there.
Yep, that's going to be tough. That is going to be tough. We give Reggie Bullock a lot of shit. I talk a lot of shit about Reggie Bullock, but off the court, this is one of the better moves, and I am in admiration of the thought and the ability to do this. This is dope.
How many more years on that contract? You're gonna be able to move out there soon, permanent.
You there every April? No, I'm playing.
Wow.
Nah.
Wow.
You put it right by the rim.
Well,
right there.
He's 31 years old, and that contract next year is only partially guaranteed.
But I mean,
obviously
he saved up some money. Look like he saved some money. He can go over to the Lakers. Be another
candidate
part. Written
all over that.
Lakers roster is like an American car. You got a little Chevrolet in there, a little Ford in the engine. Got a little got some Mustang parts. Got some Corvette parts. Got a whole bunch of stuff in that in there. And then you got LeBron. But shout out to Reggie Bullock, man. And before we get out of here, another team that didn't make the playoffs. Hey, James Wiseman says this is really like his rookie year because this is the first time he's actually been able to play in the NBA. He said he's just got to take it a day at a time. I'm not going to read the whole quote, but you do know at the end of the season this season, James Wiseman was playing pretty well and playing pretty consistently. If it's one thing us as fans know, is you need to play your rookies.
I don't understand, because you basically traded him for Gary Payton Jr. Mm-hmm. I wish I would have understood the thought process behind just giving up on Wiseman. There has to be something else. Because come on, Looney, I can't. It doesn't make any sense to me. Like, okay, he might not fit in the system like Kevon Looney does, or do the same things that Draymond does, but he's tall and he can score and he can rebound and he can block shots. I'm not giving up. At worst, no, I can't. I guess I don't know, because they really gave up. You're not like Gary Payton Jr. Sure, he's a good addition to the team, I guess.
Well, they needed perimeter defense though.
Just playing.
Because they didn't have Wiggins, they needed perimeter defense. So if you have an asset I understand you not wanting to give up on them, but the Warriors are in that whole win now and build for the future. It ain't work. We thought it worked, and then it didn't work this year. So they are pretty much moving into, we need to try to win as much as we can right now, and we'll figure out everything else out after that.
But
I think
even
move
with
on
that,
from Moses Moody too soon, personally.
Oh, I know why it was, because you weren't going. I mean, well, his extension is up.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could have exercised the option, and I would have just rather have him for one more year and then just not pay him.
But you had a chance to get Gary Payton Jr. Well, it turned into Gary Payton Jr. You could have got him any other way. So,
man, I could have got Gary Payton Jr. by 75 other ways. It did not include giving up my number one draft pick, and I can't remember how long.
Yeah. So, but hey, man, we've come to the end of the basketball segment of episode 98 of the Splashcast Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We're going to take a couple-minute break, and then we will be right back for our football segment. Y'all listen to the Splashcast 36-pack while we take a break. we're back, ladies and gentlemen, with our final segment of the Splash Cast, episode 98, Monday Night Raw. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in. We are going to get to the NFL, man. College football spring practices underway. Whole lot of stuff to look forward to. Oh, go ahead.
I did want to say, poor Kanye, man. Drake constantly making songs that involve your wife has to be
ex-wife.
Do not use my wife's voicemail on your song. You know we don't like each other. You know we have beef. And you playing Russian roulette with the song is very dangerous. There is a both fantastic song. It is both, which is also extremely highly inappropriate. And I'm glad that that's not one that was played.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shout out to New Orleans bounce music, though. I'm going to tell you, when you hear it, you can be like, oh, that's the one. But don't play that at work without your headphones on.
Oh, Nicki Nine-Door.
No, no, that's not it. That's Smiley. That's Canadian dude.
Oh, I know you're talking about that. Oh, well, I'll listen to it. Y'all make sure y'all listen to the Splashcast 36 pack. Let's get to this football real quick, man. It's the off season. As I was saying, it is spring football for college football. A lot of spring practice, a lot of stuff going on. What?
That ain't got nothing to do with spring practice. That's just investigating.
Spring practice. I was like, no, I was saying, so we don't have anything to talk about in terms of college football yet. Let's take it to the subgroup of humans that we talked about earlier. The Arizona Cardinals owner Michael Bidwill is accused of gross misconduct, including cheating, discrimination, and harassment in an arbitration claim filed Tuesday by former Cardinals executive Terry McDonough to NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. McDonough maintains that both he and former Cardinals head coach Steve Wilkes were left no choice but to follow Bidwill's plan to use burner phones to communicate with former Arizona general manager Steve Klein while Klein was serving a 5-week suspension after pleading guilty to extreme DUI in Arizona.
He did it. Not me. He made me use the burner. And imagine being the Arizona Cardinals and cheating and still being on Hard Knocks. You know how bad that is? You know how embarrassing that is? You were cheating and not winning. You couldn't even cheat successfully. You can't win successfully nor cheat successfully. This organization is in ruins, and nobody is noticing it because Cliff Kingsbury was a handsome man who wore sunglasses. This thing is melting down. Your quarterback rather play Call of Duty than learn the playbook. You fired your coach. Ownership is cheating. And aren't they on the Brian Flores? Aren't they named in that suit? Isn't Steve Wilkes in that?
Yeah, he joined the suit. Yes, he did join that suit. So the Cardinals front office is in shambles. The person who should be happiest about this is Dan Snyder. Not only is he selling, but he is out of the news. They have swept him under the rug. You don't hear nothing about him at all. Now, of course, the court date is coming soon, so he'll be right back in the news. But
this is the thing. This might be a time for you to get out too, bro. And if you wait till Snyder sells that team for $7 billion instead of $6 billion, you still get it. There's no loss here. That's the thing about being an owner of a sports team now. Even your punishment just makes you exponentially richer. Yeah. Now, speaking of problems.
Hey, man, so keeping it in the front office, man, the Broncos news bombshell came out. John Elway steps down from consulting role with the Broncos, a position he's held with the team for a year. When I read this, it seemed like, John Elway stepped down and getting fired, but he actually had already been removed from any decision making before this. If you remember, he was the front office when they got Peyton Manning. So they kind of were getting him out of there, but he just said, you know what, if y'all ain't gonna let me do nothing, I'm gone. Peace out.
Yeah. For me, the John Elway thing just didn't work as well as they wanted it. I think that ideally they wanted it to just be like, oh, John, and then John know how to pick players, kind of like John Lynch has done for the 49ers. And that really hasn't materialized very well for the Broncos. So I think it's like
they got a Super Bowl out of it.
Oh man, that was defense.
He was the general manager. He put it together.
I mean,
yeah, Paxton Lynch and Drew Lock though. After that was awful. That was awful.
I don't like. I think that he put together like the defense was already kind of set. Peyton Manning wasn't good for the Broncos, especially not that.
But I'm saying he was the GM, if I'm not mistaken. He drafted those players.
But I mean, you're getting Peyton Manning and you have a monster defense. One season does not make you a good
they went to the Super Bowl twice.
Person as far as I don't believe it. 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 And I think that the Broncos don't believe it either. And they said, hey man, let's just let this go.
While he was general manager, they won 4 division titles, 2 AFC championships, and a Super Bowl.
He there that long?
Yeah.
Ain't bad. I mean, also the quarterback drafting him, and you know he's going to get blamed for that. Fair, unfair. They ain't picked a quarterback in a long time.
Hey, man. It's only some. I mean, the way they did it seems like it was the best for both. They reduced his role all the way to a consulting role. He still got to stay with the franchise. He still became Mr. Bronco.
Eased him out of there.
And they eased him out. But you right.
You get to leave with way more dignity.
Yeah, the quarterbacks, you ain't got no. Yeah. I wonder if he was consulting on the Russell Wilson trade. I think that might have been he was like, I didn't want him. I think he didn't want it.
Yeah, I mean, Paxton Lynch, Drew Lock, the Broncos have not picked a good quarterback in a long.
Like picked a good quarterback? They ain't picked one since John Elway.
The last good QB here was me.
That they drafted?
Drug Peyton Manning.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's when they picked him.
Nobody.
But I mean, good quarterbacks are difficult to pick. That's why you normally get one a generation. Like you don't get a lot of good quarterbacks.
I mean,
in one team. I mean, Tom Brady was there for 20 years.
Drew Bledsoe was a pretty good quarterback, though.
Sure.
Packers.
He
Bengals.
He got the Bengals had Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer, yeah, Carson Palmer, yeah. I mean, now who the Lions? Ooh, between the Lions and the Browns, jeez. Oh, and throw the Bears in there for good measure too, boy. Boy, it's a lot of teams picking bad quarterbacks, boy.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a tough job. Maybe it is a tough job to find a good quarterback.
It is, man. It is. So, while this loads, Odell Beckham Jr. signed with the Baltimore Ravens. 1 year, $18 million. You do?
I hate this move.
Why?
Hate this move for a myriad of reasons.
Why?
This is not really good for Odell. There is no wide receiver 2 that you have to even respect. I'm not respecting Nelson Aguilar at all. You can double Odell, and I'm not sure if Odell is ready to be wide receiver 1 for 17 games. I don't think that he's ready for that.
What's the dude that they drafted from Minnesota that sounded off on the GM? Rashard Bateman.
Oh, yeah.
I think now I don't really care about this. I don't care about the Ravens wide receivers. I don't really that's inconsequential to me. What I read about this was that Lamar and allegedly, Lamar and Odell Beckham Jr. had a discussion before, and that Lamar basically was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna be throwing passes to Odell Beckham Jr." Allegedly. And I'm here to tell you, if that happens and that's what he thinks, then you, sir, were set up, because Odell's good, but Odell ain't been healthy, and it's hard to keep Odell healthy. Unfortunately, not by his fault.
Hey, Odell. The good news is you'll be catching passes from a Pro Bowl quarterback. The bad news is that will be Huntley, and it will not be me. Good luck and Godspeed. I'm still getting the hell out of here. I will point some great places for you to eat. If you want to rent out my spot, you're more than welcome to do it. I'm not staying here. And unfortunately, you're not going to get enough targets here, my friend. If you were mad with Johnny Manziel, I don't know what to tell you what I'm about to do, because we run the ball every play here.
So you don't think Odell Beckham and Lamar Jr. have spoken during free agency as reported by Jordan Schultz means anything?
I hope that Lamar is not this foolish. Please do not take this weak. Yes, this is a promise ring. The weakest promise ring in the world. Lamar, be way more judicious with your career. Do not stay for OBJ. OBJ, congratulations, 1 year, $18 million. I don't know of any other place where you were probably going to get that much money, but this team is desperate. And no, Lamar, take your money, take your MVP, and take your proven product on to somebody who will pay.
Yeah.
And speaking of proven product, Carson Palmer,
I need you to stop taking whatever it is you got a hold of.
No, he is taking that Michael Irvin pre-workout that we saw on yesterday's show. If you're not familiar, just go back and watch the pregame. Mike Irvin had some of that pregame, and it was pregame. Carson Palmer clearly got into it.
The word that he had actually rhymes with pregame. Allegedly.
And I'm gonna read what Carson Palmer said here so y'all can understand. I think that Joe is the best quarterback in the league. I know Patrick is phenomenal, but I think Joe's more consistent. Patrick Mahomes, ladies and gentlemen. Patrick Mahomes is already a Hall of Fame football player. He could never play football again. He will go right into Canton. They might not even ask people. They might put him in the express lane and say that we know that you know that he should be in the Hall of Fame, so we don't want to embarrass you by asking you. And Carson Palmer finds a way to ingest that pre-workout, and it has attacked his brain, and now he thinks that Joe Burrow's the better quarterback than Patrick Mahomes. It's got to be drugs, and we have to do a better job with these opioids and meth.
So, y'all remember Trent Dilfer? When he said he's unimpressed by all the good quarterbacks, and we said, Trent, we understand what you're saying, but you can't say it.
You can't say it?
Here's the thing with Carson Palmer. Carson, we don't understand what you're saying, and you can't say what we don't understand that you're saying. You don't deserve to have this conversation. Patrick Mahomes has had a better career than you in 4 years.
And out of the 4 years he's played, 3 of them have been better than your best year. And 1 year he was a backup. So every year he's actually had the opportunity to be better than you. He has been better than you. But I wasn't even going to beat you up on that, because he's also been better than everybody else in the world to ever exist at that point in their career. There is nobody who has been as good as Patrick Mahomes has at any point in his career.
And moment of transparency. We had this discussion back in the 70s or the 60s, and it was Patrick Mahomes, and I was like, we're going to have to see. I was like, the Bengals are coming. Joe Burrow's coming. You remember that? Pause. I said, and we were like, Patrick Mahomes is Patrick Mahomes. I was like, yeah, but they don't have Tyreek. They don't have this. All they got is Kelsey. And then they won the Super Bowl. So
All that matters
from
is the Super Bowl.
So I'm letting you know from somebody that didn't step out on this stupid ledge, but was looking out the window. Hey Carson, you wrong. And second of all, you didn't really give. That's my whole point about this. You didn't give any point to what you were saying. You said he's been more consistent. Patrick Mahomes in the league 5 years, three Super Bowl appearances, 2 championships, 2 MVPs, and a Super Bowl 2 championships, and then you made the AFC title game the other time you lost. Or actually, the game that you lost that you didn't make it, you were the reason that you should have won. Frank Clark jumped off sides. That was the only reason you lost.
You know the only person who's ever been more consistent than Patrick Mahomes?
Tom Brady.
Kirk Cousins. He is always 500. But consistently good, it's Patrick Mahomes and nobody else. Not a soul. Not your favorite's favorite.
Not even close. Not even close.
Not even Tom Brady has been this good this early. And you have the nerve to say...
All right, man. So let's keep it with the quarterbacks real quick. I got to go to Shay. I don't know. I ain't really know. It's not much to talk about in football. But Cam Newton has made waves calling quarterbacks randoms. Shannon Sharp responded and said, "You are the random now. You are the person that is on the bubble trying to make the roster." And then Cam comes back and releases a list of teams that he will accept and quarterbacks that he will back up. All of the rookie quarterbacks that were good, Lamar, it was like the who's who of quarterbacks. And I was like, well, I've never heard of somebody releasing a list of person that they'll back up.
Mahomes not on that list. Go back and look at that list. Patrick Mahomes is not on the list. Now, I don't know if I guess he felt like he was too good and there was never a chance he would ever play there. But I can't understand it. Maybe he doesn't have anything to bring to the Kansas City Chiefs and the Super Bowl they won. Well, also, Shannon Sharp clearly listens to the Splashcast because these are all things I said about Cam Newton probably 2 years ago.
You said Deshaun Watson? Wow. So before you go, let's listen to Sharp because he says a lot.
Reggie went and looked at that list like, son, you on the pre-workout too?
I don't know what you're thinking, big dog. I don't know what you're thinking. Let's listen to Shannon real quick.
This man was out of the entire NFL last year. Yeah. And then he comes in with a wish list. These are the teams or these are the players I'm willing to back up. Skip, I don't have a job, but I'm only willing to work for Apple, Google, Microsoft, JP Morgan, Amazon, Salesforce, American Express, Wells Fargo, Walmart, and Target. I don't have a job. I don't get to call the shots. Cam, do you realize this? How many teams called you last year? And now you think because you say something on YouTube or you put it out there on social media with your fancy font that these teams like, man, you heard what Cam say? Cam say he back up Deshaun. He back up Lamar Jackson. He back up this and that one. Let's get on the phone and call him up. And the problem that I have is that your followers, they as dumb as you if they think this is legit. If this is how it works. There's a reason why teams haven't called you and you don't get it. Your arrogance blinds you. You think because you're Cam Newton. If you were 2015 Cam, you wouldn't even miss last year. Skip, I don't get Cam.
Now, there's a lot of people in the comments of this, including your LB, that are defending Cam. And I
No. Let me clarify because I did read that Mark comment. Number one, if you know Mark, he is being facetious. Number two, he's talking about knowing your value of working at a different place. But also, there is heavy undertones of comedic relief. And I've been saying this for many, many years about Cam Newton. He's past his prime. He's no longer the guy who he was. He hasn't been that. Please remember that when the Panthers let him go, the only team that called him was the Patriots. Nobody else called. And I don't know why, if the Patriots were the only team that called a year ago or 2 years ago, there's nobody calling now. So I know you might try to reverse psychology the NFL into signing you, but bro, it's never going to happen. And when you say stuff like this is why people never wanted you as a backup quarterback, because you're out of touch with reality.
So
and support your countrymen, what alumnus, Westlake, whatever that is, your boy.
So I do agree with Cam.
That's Reggie Boyd now. That's Reggie Boyd.
I do agree with Cam that he has the talent to be a backup quarterback. He shouldn't be out of the league. But when you release these lists of people that you're willing to back up, 9 players, when you say that everybody else is randoms and I'm gonna show you and all this other stuff, we said it before. The backup quarterback is not a loud position. The backup quarterback is not a person that gets to take the headlines and make content videos and all of this stuff. You can't do that as the backup quarterback. You can't name me who the backup quarterbacks are in Buffalo right now. What?
Y'all didn't hear Reggie. Reggie said, "Hey, son, the backup quarterback, not a loud position.
Not a loud position, dog.
We need a lot less talking from you, a lot more listening. You have to shut the hell up, my friend."
With the development, I'm going to throw this in there, with the development of Josh Allen, the way that Buffalo went about building a quarterback room that was no threat to him at all. There was no way.
Don't do that.
They basically hired 2 players that want to be coaches someday. I wouldn't be surprised if both of Buffalo's quarterbacks, I think Hasselbeck was one of them before he retired, go into either broadcasting or coaching.
Hey, boy, you got a career in content, my friend, not in football.
So Cam, you got to chill out, bro. This if you really wanted to play, then this ain't it. I think you got the talent, but you got to chill out.
He doesn't have. I'm gonna give you the perfect example of a guy who I think that he's probably been better for many moons. Well, just recently made his first, I would consider, era. Marcus Mariota.
He's been better than
I think that Cam Newton, since like every year, I think Cam Newton is probably a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota.
Oh yeah. But Mariota played his role.
He plays until this year, and whatever. Congratulations on the new team. But if you shut up, people won't know that you think crazy things, and they will hire you. I think the Cam Newton every year I would have to see him now. I haven't seen him in a couple years. But that last season with the Patriots, I think that he was a better quarterback than Marcus Mariota was. Mm-hmm. The last year with the Carolina Panthers, all of those years, there's never been a point where they both been playing football. I thought that Marcus Mariota was a better player. But you don't know what Marcus Mariota thinks about really anything because he doesn't talk.
Nope. Yeah, so
you got to quit. He was just like, "I'm hurt.
I'm out. Peace out." Watch my Netflix special.
But yeah, but this is the reason that everybody was right about Cam Newton could never be a backup quarterback. You've proven it.
Similar.
One thing about Cam, if you put a microphone in front of him, he will prove to you who he really is.
He needs to go ahead and be a host on I Am Athlete, or a guest or a regular on there. That would be pretty cool. I think he could.
Him and Brittany Renner had like this. I thought they had a podcast.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't follow Brittany Renner, so I
don't know. I did at one point. I feel like.
No, I didn't say I didn't. I said I don't.
Oh. Yeah. I mean,
didn't is the best. Didn't is a form of did. Now I did follow.
You should have followed Brittany Renner. And then
eventually
she
did
like,
PJ Washington. Once she did PJ Washington, I was like, oh, you just and he's not.
I had unfollowed way before then, but there was a good Renner run. Soccer Renner was elite.
Hey man,
Speaking about
of
a blast
elite,
from the past.
Russell Okung, bro. Russell Okung. I know he was all pro at one point. I don't know if he's gonna make. He was on those Seattle teams. I don't know if he may go to this Pro Bowl. Pro Bowl, to the Hall of Fame. I'm not sure, but I will say he's best known for the non-football aficionados as the first player to take part of his contract in Bitcoin.
Ooh, boy, that
he ended up not at the time. He
cannot
went
be
from,
good now.
Depending on what he did with it, because he at the time his highest half of his contract was $10 million or $15 million, and it rose to $47 million at the height of Bitcoin. So if it worked out, it worked out. But speaking of worked out,
it depends.
He worked out.
This is
he's lost a lot of money.
This might explain it. Why you playing?
He went from offensive tackle to Richard Roundtree. He look like Shaft. Like, he out here, dog. But congrats to him. He lost
like
that
skinny
weight.
Braun.
Somebody said, I thought it was Malcolm Jenkins, and that's exactly who it looks like.
It does. It looks like, you remember when LeBron had that real short cut and he got real skinny there for a little bit?
Yeah.
That's what he looks like.
When they were making fun of him. That was right when Kyrie left.
Exactly. But yeah, I'm just happy. Anytime I see these linemen lose a bunch of weight for health purposes and really slim down, I just get excited because, during our era, those guys weren't really considered even doing that.
He definitely is a Pro Bowler, Sneaky. He's a 2-time Pro Bowler, Super Bowl champion, and then he fell off a cliff. Got that money.
Mm-hmm. Yep. About right.
But hey, man, this is tough though. This is tough of him actually losing weight and getting healthy. If it's one team, you know what? You never really see, of all the athletes in all the positions in football that retire, you always see linemen lose a lot of weight, and you see the skill positions gain a lot of weight. A lot of the linemen lose a lot of weight.
Yeah, but that's like 50-50. The good ones. And I think now it's more of an emphasis that as soon as guys get out of the NFL while they still in kind of like robot mode, they try to shed that weight immediately. Yeah, and, for the people who want to be on television, want to be, everything now is content with video, they try to slim down.
Yeah.
Especially on TV.
And health-wise. But Okung is one of them dudes. He like has his own garden in the back. He's like super healthy of the earth type guy. So, but shout out to him, man.
I feel like those guys kind of feel like guys who saw NBA guys spend all their money so fast. Like, you saw so many offensive linemen just get massive afterwards. You're like, oh no, we can't do that. I feel like there's a much more concerted effort to trying to get healthy, losing the football weight as soon as you can.
Yeah, that's true. This
is wild.
We're gonna end it on this. Cheetah said he is going to be a problem. He's going to be Kansas City's worst nightmare when Miami plays Kansas City this year. Chris Jones responded and said the only 2 fingers you're gonna be throwing is taking that L on the bus. Blase, blase, blah. It's funny how this video of Tyreek taking the L comes out at his camp right after all of that. Tyreek, playing buddy, for those that are watching, I'm sorry. Tyreek is guarding.
Look at the feet.
Got him.
They're no longer under you. This
Tyreek
is the worst place to stop
one of his
video
campers.
because you can already see he's out of position.
Tyreek is guarding one of his campers for a hoodie, and the camper hit him with the stop and go double move, which is the hardest move to guard from a receiver, and made him touch earth.
And the fact that he went, it wasn't like a lot of times the corner would get you with the drop to one hand and pop back up. The double hand earth grab for a kid in high school when you're one of the best wide receivers in the NFL and one of the best athletes in the NFL. Yeah, this is embarrassing. But
made him turn his head.
Shout out to this kid. And this kid became Randy Moss. I love these because you always look back like 5 years and this guy's now a Pro Bowler in the NFL.
Yeah. Now,
Tyreek, you got cooked.
You believe what Tyreek said about he's gonna retire at the end of his contract? He said he out of here in 2025.
I don't hate it. I definitely don't hate it. He got in, especially if he can win another championship. You win, win your 2 Super Bowls, make your money, you're still in fantastic health. Make your money and go home, bro. It don't take all day to do nothing.
It don't. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to the end of the Splash Cast episode 98, Monday Night Raw, 2 away from Patrinacy. Y'all, that isn't 2 weeks.
Bad idea.
That really is, I believe, what is this, the 10th, 17th, 21st? Dang. We're going to be ahead of the draft by 1 week. So it got to be great.
That is the reason we should drink. I don't know how this is going to play out now.
But Norwood, if we didn't miss anything, man, take us out.
Here we are, another fantastic Monday Night Raw. It is always best when you do it raw. Remember that. This is the realest podcast in the world. We are your HBCU homeboys. Always remember, like, follow, subscribe. There will be a 36-pack out on this Wednesday. Of course, the episode will be out Monday for anybody who missed it. This episode will come out Thursday. Before I get there, Reggie, do you have anything before I close this out here?
My bad. For some reason, it says former Buccaneers quarterback Tom Brady addresses rumor of dating a new celebrity actress. And I don't know why that popped up on my timeline. But no, I don't have anything. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Tell a friend. Y'all be safe, man. We got some stuff coming out for y'all soon.
Wait. Number one. And shout out to Tom Brady, because he ain't done yet. He might have retired from the game of football, but not from the game.
The game's
number one, more black baseball and more black beaches. We support black beach volleyball from now into eternity. Number 2, more black cowboys and cowgirls. Number 3, the historically black college university. Your cousin, your auntie, whoever went to one of those, send some money over there on their behalf. The historically black college university in your neighborhood, the one you go to for step shows, homecoming, just to be on the yard around your people. You spend time over there, spend some money over there. And then finally, the greatest learning institution in all the world, the Hampton University, send some money there on behalf of Reggie and I. We love you. We thank you. And always remember, Black Culture Awareness Month will be here in October. We look forward to seeing you then.
Love y'all, man. Y'all stay safe. Peace. We'll be out. See y'all Saturday.
This is the Splashcast weekly schedule. You can find us on Monday Night Raw. That is the Around the League edition, where we cover all of the major leagues around the league. Tuesday is the ATL edition. Braves, Falcons, Hawks. Wednesday is when the playlist comes out. It's a Splashcast 24, 12, or 36 pack, just depending on the music. Thursday, for everybody who was not able to catch us live on Monday, they can catch up there on the Around the League edition. And then Saturday, of course, we bet beers for Saturday Morning Live. If you ever need to find us, we can be found at thesplashcast.com. And of course, via Instagram at the Splashcast.
I get money with white collar crime, minimum fines, lenient punishments. I heard that you should buy a company every chance you get, pinpoint the downfalls and revamp this shit. That's how them tycoons cash in. High in the boardroom, ain't no masking it. But I came for the loot, dude, past they here. We pop the champagne like it's the championship. Papered up now, my son know the difference between the startup house and where the mansion is. Nigga, don't sleep on the south. I know some G's who are vouch and stretch you out. You Trey X and dope boy to let you out. Cause this ain't what you bout. Homie, this a crash course, please reassess your route. Nigga spitter put Dayton's on the I-Rock. Give my homies from LA a shout out. Rolling my own, top shelf zone. Top shelf prepping 5-star meals in my home. I'm from New Orleans, nigga was ballin', nigga saw him. Nigga kicked his door in 4 in the morning. Flipping furniture over, looking for it, they robbed him. Raw shit, that's what walk is. Ain't no rules over here, dog is sorry. Dog eat, dog it. He's the one and fresh as a Easter pink Ralph Lauren. Mid-mountain engine in my Corvette roaring. When I started, niggas hating when they should be applauding. But that's the way it is. Shit treacherous, be it drug deals or the record bills. Ball players still dealing with their own shit. Coaches and GMs, front offices, they slave owners. Shut up, dribble nigga, tackle the quarterback. We don't want to hear your opinion. Who got the shot, who didn't?